Yeah, started. All right. So first of all, I want to make sure that you know this thing, this translation table. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Look through this. You should know everything here. You probably know most of these already, but you need to know everything here. How to convert, word problems into, basically words into equations. All right. So, especially the first part, I'm going to copy and paste it in your notebook. So you can look it up later on. When you see as, was, has, cost, they always mean equal. Of means multiply. Percent means divide by 100. So let's look at a GRE level question for that, right?
Okay.
So this question here. Lost page. Okay. Let me show you how you should do this problem. I'll take a picture of it and put it in your notebook. And then I'm going to go back to that translation table so you can see that also, that when I do this. Okay. Okay. A is 250% of B. That means A is means equal to. See in this 250% always means divided by 100. Okay, always means divided by 100. Of means multiply, and B is B, right? So the question gave us this information. That's the clue. Okay. So A equals to 2.5 B. Make sense?
Yes.
Then this is our puzzle. This green part is our puzzle. What percent of A? What always means X. This is our clue. And our puzzle is this. X percent means divided by 100. Of means multiply. A is A. E is means equal to, and B is B. Any confusion on this?
No.
All I did was I used that translation table. See, I thought like a robot, like a dictionary, It wasn't complicated, right? It was just, all I did was hold on a sec. Let's have to do my sound here. Okay, did you follow what I did so far? I'm just fixing something in my sound just to make sure there's no issues.
Yes.
Okay, so here, it's fine. Okay, we need to isolate X to find what it is. Now, how do I get rid of all these things on the left side? I need to multiply the left side with 100. What happens? 100 and 100 cancels, right? X times A equals to 100 times B. And I have to divide by A. Divide by A. So what happens? A and A cancels. And 100B divided by, what is A? A is 2.5B, right? 2.5B. So B and B cancels. And 100 divided by 2.5, you can put that in the GRE calculator, or you can write it 1000 divided by 25. Now if you divide it, you can do it 40%. Does it make sense?
Yes.
See how the translation table makes it so much easier, right? Okay, so you need to know this translation table really well. All right, I'll give you some extra work on this kind of questions so you practice those. Okay, the next, I call these things apps. Okay, apps are like your telephone has apps. The apps make the exam much easier. I mean, a lot of things in the phone much easier, right? So the apps will make the exam much easier also. Okay, if you know those. Okay? Okay, let's see what else we need here. Okay, look at question number 4.
Okay.
What you do is you need to create a table. Okay, and this table chart, if you make table charts, it keeps things organized. Okay,
Okay.
I'll show you a technique with number 4. So 6 years ago, so actually this now, Sarah is S, John is J. Okay. So that's not equal. Okay. Your goal is to make it equal. Okay. At this point in the beginning, Sarah is not equal to John. So what you do is you need to go back 6 years. It says 6 years ago. So you go back 6 years. So Sarah was 6 years younger. John was 6 years younger, and they were not equal then either. Okay. So how do you solve this kind of problems? You're supposed to make something equals to something. Then what happens? A word problem becomes a simple algebra problem. All right. So here you can see that it says Sarah was 4 times as old as John. So if Sarah was like 40, John was like 10, right? So to make it equal, you need to multiply John with 4. Okay. So 4 times John minus 6 must be Sarah minus 6. Okay, that should be the equation. So don't cross this off because this is just a dummy number. Okay. So important thing is to know that if you always look for something equals to something, you can convert the equation, the word problem into an equation. All right.
Okay.
That's how you should do these kind of problems. So convert word problems into equations. So let me show you. Let me actually copy and paste this here. So we'll have the note here. All right. The next question I want you to look at is number 7. Okay. Okay. Question number 7. And can you try to do it first? Looking at the notes I did here. Just try it first. Go and try it in your paper and tell me that what answer you get, and I can tell what you're thinking.
All right. So I think it's choice A. Is that right?
One little mistake, but you're on the right track of thinking there. Okay, what you do is Phil and Sam, you have different columns. Okay, and then so before what did they have? Phil had P and Sam had S, and they're not equal. Okay, so later what happens? Later Phil loses 6, but Sam gains 6, and that's not equal either. Okay, that's not equal either. So what are you going to do? Well, you need to make it equal. So you go to the store and buy 16 for Sam. If you buy 16 for Phil will have 32 more. That won't be equal. So Phil is same, but Sam will have extra 16. Okay, to make it equal. All right. So that's why the answer should be B and boy.
Oh, okay.
Make sense?
Makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, so let's make sure you understand this tab because you'll see these kind of questions in the test, harder level. Okay, go ahead and try this one. Example 1. Try it first.
I'm getting a little stuck.
Go over this. Okay, number one, first of all, what you do is you create a column for Sarah and one for John. Okay, let's see what we know. Right away, we know that Sarah is twice as old as John. Okay, so that means this part, this is very important. Okay, twice as old. That means if Sarah is 2x, John is x, right? And that's not equal, right? That's like now, right? Then 6 years ago, so go back 6 years, John was 2x minus 6, and Sarah was, they're not equal, x minus 6, okay? It's very important to have it, make it equal. So to make it equal, again, like that problem I showed you, you need to multiply John with 4 to make it equal, okay? So now you'll have an equation. Does it make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So now you solve for x. Can you solve it now? I'm just going to make sure you do this thing.
Yes.
So try, go ahead and solve it.
All right. X is 9.
X is 9, perfect. So now, let's try another question like this. I want to make sure you get this concept. Try this one here. Yeah, this one on the left side. Go ahead and try this.
Okay. Okay. Is it x equals 28?
You're again on the right track. You're kind of close, but it's not x. X is first of all not the answer. X is 14. Okay, they're asking for Phil's DVD, not Sam's DVD.
Oh yes, x is 14. Yes.
So once you get x is 14, you can see that important thing is to see that they're asking for Phil's DVD. Okay, so this one. Okay, so the technique here I want you to know is at the end of every question, read the end one more time. After you do all the problem, read it because they may not be asking what you're answering. Okay.
Oh, I got it now.
Let's move on.
Because you have to do 3 times 14 to get 42.
Exactly. And so you need to watch out for that. Okay, the next technique I want to show you is percentage technique. See, in the translation table there are lots of stuff on percentage, but I want to put all of them together into actually two equations, 2% formula. And I'm going to send you some worksheets to work on those also. Number 1, the COP method. Okay, COP method is you put the change on top, original at the bottom, times 100%. And how you do this is, let's say if you invest $40 and it goes up $10 and you make $50, okay? So you get $50. So $10 is a profit. So using COP method, you should do plus 10 on top divided by 40 times 100%, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's 25%. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Percent change. So when you do percent change, you do this. What if it was the other way? If you had invested $40, it went down to $50, and it went down to $40, that's minus 10. So using COP method, that would be negative 10 divided by 40 times 100%, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Which is, sorry, not 40, by 50. Sorry about that. This 50 is original, okay? Original is, what you comparing against? Hold on. This is the original. You just see that, okay? So then that is negative 20%. Okay? You see the difference?
Yes.
Okay. The second important percentage technique I want you to know is when something goes up 10%, multiply that with 1.10. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Something goes up 20%, you multiply that with 1.20. Something go down 10%, you multiply that with 0.90. Get it?
Mm-hmm.
Something goes down 25%, multiply that with 0.75. You see the pattern here?
Yes.
Okay. You need to know this pattern, and that will make you much faster in the test. So let me show you an exam type question and see how useful this is. Yes, I'm going to do one problem like each type. And, okay, this one. Example 6. Okay, I'm going to put this in your notebook also. Okay. Q is 10% off P. So Q is 1.10 P. R is 1.10 Y. So multiply this. QR equals to 1.21 PY. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you can see that, but just by looking at this, you should be able to tell that the answer for this is 21. Okay? Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't know this technique, you know you'll follow the books, and this is one of the best books, but look at the way it's solution. Look at the left side. Look how long that is. See, it goes to the end of the page.
Mm-hmm.
See that? And go to the next column. See how long it is? So if you know the techniques, you can do things very fast. If you don't know the techniques, you know, you won't even be able to finish the exam, you know, in the time.
Right.
Okay? So you need to know all the little techniques. Even for easy questions, you need to know the techniques, because then you'll save a lot of time for the hard questions. Okay? The
Okay.
time is like gold in this exam, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now look at this question on the left side, and they use the COP method here. Okay. Example 7. See if you understand it. This is the COP method. Did you change our original? And after you understand it, I'm going to show you. It's the COP method on the right side, and they used it to do the whole problem. I'll show you a shortcut. You know, you need to be street smart in this exam. I'm going to show you a street smart way.
Okay. Yeah, I see. I get it.
Okay. So, I'm going to show you street smartly on this. Green screen. And I'll send you all these notes, so you don't have to copy these, okay? Just focus
Okay.
on asking questions and learning, all right? Don't worry about
Mm.
copying things. Unless you really need to write something, then it's a different thing. But focus on learning, and you'll also have a video so you can watch it again, okay? Or before the exam or something, you want to review something, you can do that. Okay? So look at this. They did COP method for all 5 of them. Okay? You see that at the bottom?
Mhm. Yeah.
But that's a waste of time. You can use common sense and see that when 800 goes up 200, it's a better deal than 1,000 goes up 200, right? Make sense?
Why is it better? Why is January to February better than February to March?
Because let's say if you invest $100, okay, and you get $200, you double your money, right?
Right.
If you invest $200 and get $300 next month, you didn't double your money. You made it 1.5 times. You see that? 1.5
Right.
times. So $100 becoming $200 is a better deal than $200 becoming a $300. See that? It's like 1.5 times. This is like double, right?
Mhm.
Make sense?
Yes.
So if your stock goes up twice, it's much better than when your stock goes up 1.5 times, right?
Yes.
So that is why. So you can use common sense and see that you don't really, do any math. So this is a waste of time. It's a complete waste of time for B. Okay? So B cannot even be an answer. You should eliminate it. You're good at that, so you should be able to see it. Huh?
Mhm. Yeah.
See February to March, right? Look at this,
Mhm.
March to April. It goes up 100, right?
Mhm.
Throw that out, right? Because March cannot be the answer. So why should I waste my time doing COP method for it, right?
Right.
Now, April to May is a little tricky. We don't know what's happening because it goes up 300. So we need to do the COP method. So we need to check April. We need to check January because we need to compare which one is better. Because January has a better lower number, 800. January has a this. This is better for January, but for uh, for January this 800 is better. For April this 300 is better.
Mhm.
So you don't know which one is stronger, right?
Right.
So you need to do the COP method to figure that out. Make sense?
Yes.
Now look at May to June. Again, 600 going up 200, not a good deal, right? So you should throw that out also. Okay? So basically, if you're street smart, you save half of the time for this question. Okay? You need to be street smart. Which I think you are with this question. So you should be able to catch this. Okay? The first one is 25%. This one is 23%. So you don't need to waste your time. 50% of your time on those garbage. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay, so it's very important to become street smart on this exam. I'll show you many techniques with all kinds of things, geometry, algebra, everything on how to, eliminate things and how to get rid of things, when you don't know, how you can. So, and even if you know, like I knew this question, but I didn't do those 3 things, it's a waste of time. Get it?
Right. Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. So now the next, I want to kind of jump into, okay, we talked about geometry. Maybe I can work on a little bit on this also. Yeah. And then I'll move into that. Okay, that's fine. Plan change. We'll go into some of this. And then we'll go into some more apps. Okay? Look at example 1 here. Do you know how to do this? Example 1?
No, not at all.
Okay. It's not as bad as you're thinking. It's really easy. So read carefully.
It can't be as easy as what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it is.
Is it 49?
Yeah,
It is?
right?
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You see?
So
Use
there's
your
no
logic, right? This is
yeah, there's no complex formula. You just simply say,
yeah, but I mean you have to notice these little things. You know how see those shade looks like weird shape. How do you know the area of that? But see, all you
yeah,
need to is subtract that little yellow triangle, things you know, right?
yeah.
And bam, you're done. Okay? Look at this
Oh.
question on the right side. Example 2. How do you do this?
So the whole line has to equal 180. I know that.
Okay.
So, but I'm not understanding the rest.
Okay. So if you know the entire thing is 180,
Uh-huh.
let's call this z, okay? So you know that x plus 60 plus y plus z will be 180, right?
Mm-hmm.
You subtract x, subtract 60, subtract y. So you need to do that from both sides, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you do that, you have z equals to 180 minus 60 is 120 minus x minus y. Get it?
Oh.
Okay?
Yeah.
So you get the total, subtract what's given, okay? And you get to that. Okay.
Okay.
Let's try this one, example 3.
Mhm. Is this one just like the last one?
Yeah, you can see that they gave you the total. You
Uh-huh.
take out what's given, you know?
Uh-huh.
It's like somebody borrows $10 from you and returns M and returns N. So how much remaining, right? 10
Uh-huh.
minus M, right? 10
Uh-huh.
minus M minus N. That's it.
Oh, wow.
Get it?
Mm-hmm.
You see the logic of it, right? It's the logic that I want to train you on. Okay, once you have the logic right, you'll see a lot of things will open up. It's like, like the mental blocks that you have in your brain with math. That's what I
Mm-hmm.
want to open. Okay, so once you have that going, you'll be able to solve problems easily. And not just in GRE, but whatever you do in life, I want you to carry over this training. This training should stay with you forever.
Right.
Okay, example 4. Go ahead and try this.
Mhm.
Okay, if I give you tons of homework, do you have time to study? I mean, do you have time to study? Because we have like 1 month left. We don't have too much time.
Yes.
Okay. I want you to do. I mean, you need some, work on basic stuff. You know. So I'm going to send you some things that you urgently need.
Okay. Hmm. I don't even know where to begin.
Okay. First of all, it's what do you know about the square?
What do I know about the square? That all the sides are equal?
Um, all sides are equal. So based on that, do you know what the area of that square is?
Um, is it 25?
Yes. Do you see why? Do you understand why?
Because you have to subtract from the total area of the triangle. Is that why?
Exactly, right? You have to take the whole triangle and subtract the shaded region that you don't need,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So that's how you know that square has an area of 25. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's the so you know how do you know how to find the area of a square?
No.
Okay, area of a square you do base times, it's not just square. For rectangles, for all those you do base times height, but square all sides are equal. Okay?
Uh-huh.
So let's call this x and x, they're equal. So those x times x squared equals to 25. You know that. So x must be 5.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I want to move on to a different section. I think, okay, we need to, oh, okay, let's work on apps first. We'll get more into geometry later. Okay?
Okay.
I want to use some of those things that you learned when you look at the difference and all that, so you can use that in word problem also. Then we'll go further into geometry. Okay, right now, let's focus on word problems. Look at question number 2. And I showed you an app. I want you to be able to do this. Try number 2 first.
Okay.
I sent you some worksheets. You should practice. You should work on those. Right? The answers are at the back of the worksheets.
Okay. All right. So it is E, 4%, right?
Yay, good job. Okay, good. Let me just take a picture of this page actually. You need to put this layer on the screen. We used COP method, right?
Yes. So the trick
Good.
answering this would be choosing choice A, because when you put it in the calculator and you put 1.4 over 35, you get 0.04, which looks like choice A, but that's really the
No,
equivalent to
but what is COP? Remember, COP, you're supposed to have that 100% at the back. So you have 1.4 divided by
35
35, but you
times.
multiply that P is 100%, right? So don't forget that. Okay.
Gotcha.
A lot of people stop at 1.4 also. A lot of people think 1.4 is the answer. So yeah, I'm glad you got that. Excellent. You got that app. Excellent. We're going to use that app for many different questions, and I sent you some homework on that too.
Okay.
Okay, the try number, and later on as we go, I'll give, if I see you have some fundamental weaknesses, I'm going to assign you some other work from other websites and all that. So we'll think about that later. Right now, we just need to focus on the apps and word problem breakdowns. Try number 3.
Okay. All right. It's A, $5.
Yay, you got it. Excellent. Okay, I want to show you something how you could do this problem in your head, okay, without even writing down. What you do is look at this. 75
Uh-huh.
changes 1/3. Okay? 1/3 of 75, easy to do, right? 25, right? It's like 3/4, 1/4, right?
Right. Gotcha.
Okay? So you can see that it's going to be 100, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, now 20% of 100 is also very easy to count. It's 20, right? So you don't really need to do much. You don't have to write this down. You can do it in your head. It's 80. So what happened? 75 changed to 80, right? So changes plus 5.
Right.
That's it. So you can basically do this problem in your head in a few seconds, right?
Yes.
See the pattern?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you need to know those little things, okay? All right. Try number 4. Number 4 has a trap, and I want to show you 2 traps with multiplication, cross multiplication. Go ahead and try it first.
Okay, it's B, 4 2/3 inches.
See, you fell on a trap.
I
Okay.
fell on a trap.
There are there are 2 traps with cross multiplications. Okay, let me show you the traps first. Okay, 2 traps with cross multiplication. Number 1, unit trap, and that's where you fell. Okay, and number 2, and we're going to do this is dimension trap. We're going to do dimension trap questions later. Okay, and
Okay.
dimension trap is prevalent in geometry also. Okay, so
Okay.
basically all dimension trap questions in geometry somewhat. Now, unit trap is when they change units on you. Okay, like look at this question. What did they do? They set it up like this. Okay, what's your map and what's real? Make a little table so you don't mix things up. Okay.
Okay.
Map is 1/4 inch is 1 foot. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's your clue. Okay. Now, what's your puzzle? I tell my students when you have cross multiplication issue, make a little tic-tac-toe and leave the row in the middle for adjusting. Okay. The middle row for is for adjusting. So what's puzzle? Puzzle is 56 inches, and the answer is in X inches. So for us, this inch and inch is a good thing, but our problem is that this foot and this inch is different. Okay, we need to make it the same thing. It could be miles and miles, it could be foot and foot, whatever, you know. But right now, it's not the same. So that's why you need to have a middle row where you say it's clue 2. Okay, like a movie. Okay, clue 2. So 1/4 inch is good, not a bad guy. So leave it like that, 1/4 inch, right? So 1 foot, you need to change it to 12 inches. Make sense? So now you have the license to cross multiply. Before that, you didn't have the license to cross multiply. Okay?
Okay.
So once you have the same unit, you have the license to cross multiply. So you do x times 12 equals to 1/4 times 56, which is 14, right? X is 14 over 12, which is 7 over 6, which is 1/1/6, right? Any question on that?
I get it now.
Okay. So, okay, so one, you have to be careful, right? So let's move on. Let's try question number 5. And 5 is not a hard question, but I'm going to show you 4 different apps with this question. Go ahead and think about it for 30 seconds or to a minute, and then I'll jump in and help you solve it.
Okay.
Should I jump in, you think? So first of all, what happened here is a circle change, right? You had one circle, changed to a different circle, okay? So in these kind of situations, whenever you have circle, write down card, circumference, area, radius, diameter. These are the 4 important things about every circle, okay?
Okay.
Do you know the formula for all this?
No.
2 pi r, the pi r square. This is r and this is 2r. You know this? The radius is r, okay? Okay, these things you have to memorize. There's no way around it, okay?
Okay.
You have to have it memorized, okay?
Okay.
So look at this, before and after, okay? When something changes, make a before after table. That's an app that you should use with before. And then card is an app for circles, okay? So you need to know all these formulas. And the good thing about card is, if you know any one of these 4, you can find the other 3, right? You can always find r very quickly from that and find the other 3. Everything is related to the radius, right? Okay, now, also I see students mix up circumference and area sometimes. I see students mix up radius and diameter sometimes. If you have a card chart, you're not going to make that mistake. Get it? Okay. So you have this. Okay, now let's see. The third app I want you to teach. I want you to know is the most important app for GRE. Okay, and that is 100. When they don't give you numbers, like this question gives you percentage and ratio only, plug in 100. 100 is your best friend for GRE. Okay, if you know your 100, you'll be able to guess a lot of answers quickly. Look at this. 100 changes to 150, right? 50% up. Because with 100 you can do a lot of things in your head and save a lot of time. Okay?
Right.
What's the circumference from it? You multiply 2 pi, it's 200 pi. What's the circumference for it? You multiply that, that's 300 pi. So now you know that 200 pi changed to 300 pi. So how much did it change? Plus 100 pi. Okay? So at this point is the COP method. The COP method would be 100 pi, 200 pi times 100%. Okay? So when you 100%, not pi. 100%. So now you start cancelling things. 0, 0, 0, 0, and 2 and 100 is 50%. Okay, so that equals to 50%. So it's the same thing actually. Okay.
Right. Okay.
Make sense? If it was the area would have been 10000 pi, and this would have been 150 squared 22500 pi. So now the COP method for the area would be area change. Percent area change would be COP again, which is change is 125 00 pi divided by 10000 pi times 100%. So when you reduce all these out, 0, 0, 0, 0, and this 100 and 100 cancel, pi and pi cancel, that's 125%. 125%. Okay? Is that clear?
Clear, yeah.
Okay. So you need to be master of 100. And we're going to do some apps using that. Go ahead and try number 7 first.
Okay.
And you should use one of the apps I taught you.
Okay, I got it.
What'd you get?
C, 26%.
Yay, I'm glad you got it. It's good. Did you use 100?
Yeah, I used 100. So I got that the store say it's normally 100 and then you sell it for 140. Then 10% of the 140 is 126. I mean, 10%
you
of
14 off, 14 off. That's 126. And if you did not use 100, at this point you have to use the COP method. But since you use 100, right away, right away that it's going to be 26. You don't have to, you just save a lot of extra time.
Right.
Right? You just look at this and say, okay, this is 26. I don't have to do any more math. So you can basically do this question in your head in 10 seconds. Right? Because you use 100, you don't have to, do any percentage calculation, all that, Pretty much the whole thing can be done in your head. I'm glad you got this one. Because a lot of students mix it up for other ways. It's good. Okay, now try 12, and you need to use a calculator for 12. Go ahead and try it first.
All right. So this one is D, 6.94%.
See, be careful here. What should be the original?
Oh, the original should have been 77.
Exactly.
The trick is to
That's
do
a
it over
mistake
7
most people make.
because
Yeah,
it
so
came
you
first.
should not just assume that the lower number is the original. You need to see what you're comparing it against. That's what is important to understand.
Right.
Okay? So okay, you got it. Don't worry about it. Okay, try number 14.
Okay. Okay. Is it 16,000 square inches?
You fell on the dimension trap.
Oh man, again.
Let me show you. It's like like how does 1D and 2D and 3D work? Let me show you here a picture. 1D, 2D, 3D. 1D is distance, 2D is area, and 3D is volume. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And 4D is something we don't even know. We cannot comprehend it. Okay? So these are the 3 dimensions. We live in a 3-dimensional world. Okay? So we just look at things in 3D. So now, when it's 1 inch, it's just the distance 1. So this is 1 and 1. That's also 1. This is 1, 1 and 1. That's like 1 also. So see, when it's 1 inch, it's simple. Everything is 1. But when it's 2 inch, this is 2, and this is 2 times 2. This is 2 times 2 times 2. When it's 10 inch, this is just 10. This is 100. This is 1000. See how much faster the 3D increases?
Right.
You see, as 1D gets a little bit big, but 3D explodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in this question, they gave us a clue. They gave us a clue here with 1D, and they gave us a question on 2D. Okay, so that's where they trapped you. Okay, so map, real. What's the clue? The clue is 1 inch equals to 1,000 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the puzzle is 60 million miles square. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and this is x inch square. Okay, so what is clue square? So what is clue square here? You need to have clue square to get the puzzle. Okay, because it looks like inch and inch same, miles and miles same. We need to have clue square. So 1 inch times 1 inch is 1 inch square. 1,000 miles times 1,000 miles is 1 million miles square. Now we have the license to cross multiply. Okay, get it?
Mm-hmm.
So cross multiply. It says 16. Does it make sense?
Yes. So because they told you square inches, you know that you have to multiply by itself.
Exactly. So, well, you have to not necessarily itself. It could be if it was it's a square thing. If it was a a rectangle, it will multiply something else. But if it's two-dimensional, you have to decide, what's happening. It's 1,000. Like in the first one, it's 1 times 1. That's 1. Second time, it was 1,000 times 1,000. So don't memorize it. You need to know your squares formula anyway.
Okay.
Yes, it's 1 million.
Okay.
Makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me stop the recording. Let me send you these notes. What's your